Never has there been a time when a tried and true technology like AM radio has been more important in the United States. The recent natural disasters that have stricken the southeastern portion of the U.S., in particular Hurricanes Helene and Milton, leaving millions without power, water, or communication lines, among other vital necessities, have outlined the absolute need for citizens to be able to access vital, life-saving emergency information without relying on a cell phone or internet signal. One of the first communication lines that's going to go down in any emergency will no doubt be cell service or the internet. It's abundantly clear that cell phones and the internet are only really useful in times of fair weather. One thing Helene and Milton have taught us is that tried and true methods of communication are best for citizens to garner important information during natural disasters, specifically AM and FM radio, as well as over-the-air television. Even if a local radio or television station goes off the air temporarily during a weather emergency or natural disaster, more than likely it will be back up on the air much faster than cell phone or internet service will be restored. Also, because of its mobile capabilities, AM radio can reach listeners at home or in cars. AM signals can also carry long distances, so more listeners can access vital emergency information when they need it, and this is especially important to people living in rural or remote areas. Not to mention, AM/FM radios are common everywhere and do not rely on an internet connection or a subscription, allowing listeners to access the important information local radio stations provide. The National Association of Broadcasters have produced a document called Preserving AM Radio in Cars, a unified call for public safety. This document outlines very important legislation being introduced to keep AM radios in cars, as well as testimonials from several stakeholder groups. The proposed act of Congress is called the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act and is a bipartisan effort to keep AM radios in cars, as many car manufacturers seek to eliminate AM radio from vehicles, citing it as some sort of arcane technology that's no longer used or relevant. The reality is that AM radio is relevant to millions of people and is vital in providing important emergency information to local areas during disasters and emergencies. Large swaths of the rural U.S. do not have reliable cellular or internet service and rely on traditional broadcast methods such as AM radio to receive vital news, weather, and emergency information. Rural and remote areas are often where natural disasters hit the hardest, where services are already limited and access to emergency help is not simply down the road. The removal of AM radios from vehicles would affect millions of listeners and put them in jeopardy of not receiving vital emergency information in a timely fashion. Do yourself a favor and check out the document Preserving AM Radios in Cars, a unified call for public safety in the link found in the description. And if you don't already, buy yourself a couple of handheld AM/FM radios and keep fresh batteries in them. Put them in a place where you can get to them quickly if you're ever in an emergency situation and your cell phone and internet are not working. And to all those affected by Hurricanes Helene and Milton, God bless and stay safe.